Power is a drug, but the withdrawal is often fatal. For decades, these men were gods among mortals, ruling with a word and killing with a nod. They built empires of iron and monuments of blood, believing their reign would never end. But history has a brutal way of balancing the scales. From drainage pipes to hospital beds, and from luxury palaces to the end of a rope. This is how the world's most infamous dictators met their inevitable end. 1. Nicolae Ceaușescu. Nicolae Ceaușescu. On Christmas Day, 1989, the Romanian dictator and his wife, Elena, weren't exchanging gifts. They were facing the muzzles of guns. The man who ruled Romania with an iron fist for over 2 decades suddenly found himself hunted. As the revolution exploded in Bucharest, they attempted a desperate escape by helicopter. It was useless. Captured within hours, they stood trial in a small, freezing room. Elena shrieked that the court was illegal. The verdict: guilty. Death by firing squad. Moments later, they were led to a courtyard. Before they could even utter a final word, a hail of bullets erupted. Over 100 rounds shredded their bodies. The genius of the Carpathians was gone. He was 71. 2. Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi. The man who dubbed himself the King of Kings of Africa, ended his life begging for mercy in a drainage pipe. In October 2011, as rebel forces closed in on Sirte, his convoy was decimated by NATO airstrikes. Wounded and dazed, Gaddafi crawled into a concrete culvert. When rebels found him, he wasn't a majestic leader anymore. He was a bloodied old man, asking, "What did I do to you?" The final moments were chaotic, captured on grainy cell phones. He was manhandled, beaten, and finally, shot in the head. His body was stored in a commercial meat locker for the world to see. The man who ruled for 42 years was buried in an unmarked grave in the desert. He was 69. 3. Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein. At dawn, on December 30, 2006, Saddam walked toward the gallows wearing a black overcoat and a look of cold defiance. After being pulled from a spider hole near Tikrit, the former dictator faced a trial for crimes against humanity. The execution was supposed to be somber. It wasn't. As the noose was placed around his neck, guards began shouting insults. Saddam responded with a bitter smile, reciting his final prayers. Then, the trapdoor snapped open. The footage leaked to the world within minutes. The butcher of Baghdad was dead. 4. Francisco Franco. Francisco Franco. Unlike the others, the Spanish general died in a hospital bed. But his end was long and agonizing. By 1975, his body was failing. Parkinson's disease, heart attacks, and organ failure turned his final weeks into a macabre struggle. Doctors performed surgery after surgery, desperately trying to keep him alive to maintain the regime. On November 20, 1975, after a long coma, he finally passed away at the age of 82. While some wept, millions breathed a quiet sigh of relief. His death ended an era of fear. 5. Idi Amin. Idi Amin. The butcher of Uganda. Never faced a courtroom. After being ousted in 1979, he fled to Saudi Arabia, living comfortably in exile for over 20 years. In 2003, his kidneys failed, and he fell into a coma. His family begged for his return to Uganda, but the government refused. On August 16, 2003, he died quietly in a hospital. No trial. No prison. No justice. He was 78. If you enjoyed this breakdown of history's most infamous exits, subscribe for more. And let us know in the comments, which historical figure should we cover next.